it. In a celestial doctrine, women can't preach.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that personally. I'm celestial. Personally, I don't agree with that because my childhood growing up, I've seen women, like the church I'm talking about, I've seen women lead, preach, and they do amazing job. Even I know in my group of friends when I was younger, when it comes to Bible lesson and other stuff, the females are the badass of Bible lesson. They even know about
I simply don't believe you can be a Christian and a feminist.
read it off Google straight away. Feminism is a range of social movements, political movements, and ideologies aimed at defining, establishing, and achieving equal political, economic, personal, social rights for all genders. Outcome. I'm just opportunity. I'm not talking about equality in outcome. Sorry, I'm talking about equality in opportunity, not equality in outcome. Opportunity. That's what I stand for, and that's why I'm a feminist. Has it been overcorrected? Yes. Has it turned to shit? Yes.
So, question.
Yeah, you can ask me. At least me, I know that there's fault in what I believe in.
Exactly. So
now, I know.
Here's the question for you.
Yeah.
Now, if I am a Christian, I stand by my Christian values unshakenly because that's what I'm going to live and die by.
Yes, but you don't start by every word in the Bible. Just few words in the Bible. Yes,
I'm a Christian.
No. I don't live that Christian. Every word you say you're basing on the Bible. Yeah, we base our discussion on the Bible. But do you stand on every single word of the Bible, or just some word by few people? Like, let's say Jesus Christ, the apostle.
Not every word in the Bible. When you say standing by every word in the Bible, that's because you have to understand how the Bible were written. That's why I made the caveat that every word said by Christ and the apostle, I stand by, because that's what makes you a Christian. The Bible is a combination of the Torah and scriptures of Christianity.
Okay. Actually, oh God, I don't want to drag this long. Because I know we've already had this in the previous episode when we talk about slavery there. So when Paul said, slave, obey your master, but I'm pretty sure from watching the video again, you didn't agree with that per se.
No, I did. So this is the explanation I gave.
And the question I threw at you was, what if your master tell you to go and commit sin? You literally said no.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
when they say obey your masters, now you need to look at when they were preaching Christianity, just like we Christians nowadays want our life to be easy. Back then, it wasn't easy. Their life was difficult as it is by being a Christian. So they were not preaching for you to just go and be rebellious for being rebellious sake. You understand? It wasn't going to do you any good. If you were getting in trouble because you were preaching the good word, which even in Paul's word, if you are dying just for you proclaiming the words of Christ, then that one is acceptable. But that you are just being disobedient at your workplace or something. Because let's be frank about what was happening back then. There were slaves that were working under masters. We had it in the Roman times. We had it in our Nigerian place. It wasn't a white person thing. It was happening everywhere. So it was like employer to employee kind of relationship like we have now. So it's like somebody telling you, employees, obey your employer. I don't think we'll see it as a crazy statement in today's world. But that's kind of like the corporate version of what they were doing back then.
I disagree with that.
Now, the slaves, the quote and unquote slaves you were talking about back then, even lived a better life than the apostles when they started identifying as Christians. Because those ones, they actually stripped them of all their rights.
I know. What I'm trying to say, because I don't really want to drag this out, you said something in like, even as a Christian, If the government asks you to denounce your Christian, that is the only time you have to choose your faith over the law of the land.
Your faith trumps everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
That is your argument. Which I'm trying to counter your argument that you've already argued to do that slavery, which in line sort of disagree with what Paul said. And Paul is an apostle, but you just said you agree everything the apostle said.
No, because even Paul, like I said,
Paul is very
you need to understand. No, you need to understand context.
Yeah,
So
Paul
the
is
problem,
a big nuance. I know that already.
the problem I have with all these mega churches and how they explain some Bible verses, sometimes it gets to me, is that they'll just take one verse of a chapter and read it out to you, and then try to twist it in a way to suit a narrative. But when you read a chapter, you understand how it got to that context. So when someone is preaching about obedience, for instance, and puts that into context, like children obey your parents, masters, slave obey your masters, you understand that he's trying to preach about obedience in the general sense. Not that you need to be a slave or it is good to be a slave master.
Let's move on. You've made your points. Let's move on. We've got two things, then we'll wrap this up. We'll come back to this another time. There's still more to
There's still going to be part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. We're going to do Netflix series. I'm going to do Netflix series from this.
Okay. Let's quickly go into this. So, the treatment of menstrual period as a taboo in older Christian tradition stems from the combination of ancient ritual law, interpretation of Bible text, and later cultural misinterpretation. So in our own select, go now.
Before you ask the question, what you just read now,
yes,
do you have any biblical grounding for that it was misinterpreted?
Okay.
Now the issue with Googling some things
it's okay,
is that
okay. This is okay. So
okay,
this
don't worry, ask the question. I'll address it all together.
Orthodox Christian, but this is okay, but
we'll
come back to it later, people. Sorry. We're doing this on the fly. It's literally coming off our head. We're bouncing off each other. It's not easy. In the celestial doctrine, during women's menstrual thing, they're not allowed. They're allowed in the church premises, but they're not allowed in the church. Is that a saying? Why is it so? Women, this is literally how God. Can I say this is how God made women? This is how God made women now, Abi?
Yeah, the feminists, they're the ones scared.
Exactly. I don't know if Eve had menstruation in the Garden of Eden. I don't know if it was the cause. I don't know. Sorry. My Bible knowledge is deep, but we'll come back to that later. Women literally cannot control this thing. This is how it happens. For every woman, they have their once a week, once a month for 5 days, 7 days, everyone different. Why are they not allowed in church? This is something they cannot control. So people got all that and everything. God made it that way, and it's that way so they can, have babies and all that stuff. In the celestial doctrine, why is it so? Other churches don't have issue with it. I don't know if Kerubu and Seraphim do. I don't really know their doctrine.
I don't know.
But I know our brother Samuel. But I know in the celestial, it is a no-no. Why is it like that? Once again, don't tell me it's because of how we do it. Because I've already had this discussion with my dad, and he couldn't give me a legit answer. It was just like, that's how we do it. I said, no, don't tell me that's how we do it. He did not give me facts using the Bible or something else. Don't just tell me that's how we do it. Up to you. Then I'll now say one last thing, then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so that there might be a tree under the bus. So all these things are biblical. Now, in the Bible, there are lots of texts that talks about menstrual cycle and it being unclean. And
it's the unclean that I find annoying.
So
because I feel like it's natural.
So it is stated that it's unclean. Now let's go back to creation, because you said that's how God created them and everything that God created.
I don't know if he had period.
Yeah, so that's what I want to address first. Now, when they were created, it was nothing like that. The childbearing system and the pain they go through came when God cursed Eve after eating the apple. So it's as a result of sin What they are going through is as a result of what Eve did, not a natural occurrence that would have happened if Eve did not collect apple first. So that is a result of a sin. That's a consequence of a sin. Now, that is established. So it's not like
No, I'm not giving that one yet.
No, so it's not like God made it that way. So why is God having a problem with it? No, He didn't make it that way initially. That happened because of the sinful nature of Eve and Adam. Now, when we were talking earlier about the sanctuary and certain people going into the altar, it's just unfortunate that in today's Christendom, let me even broaden it out before I narrow it down to select. We treat the church now like just some event center. Like it's just an event center. Everybody come in the way you are, blah, blah. And you then see people, they don't have any reverence in the house of the Lord. I'll hook it there and quickly go back to the Bible. Now, the Bible, when priests were being called, the reason why God was very specific about choosing them and giving them law was because the premises of where you call the house of God, where you go to worship, should be reverence. You should have the what would I say, the decency or the respect that this is the presence of God. Now, God himself revealed to the prophets that this menstrual circle is actually an unclean thing.
Where is that?
Yes, in the Bible, lots of it. I can start as in the Bible verses he choke.
Yeah.
Should I start from Genesis?
Anyone, just
let me use Ezekiel. That's the first one that pops up my screen. If
what is Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel 22:10. So you can
okay.
Ezekiel 22:10. If you, a man, uncovers their father's nakedness in you, they violate the woman who are unclean in their menstrual impurity. This is King James. The English used to sound very strong. Yeah. Let me read it again. In you, they violate women who are unclean in their menstrual cycle. Now, he is comparing two things. If you are maybe looking at your parents' nudity or something, they attribute that act to a man laying with a woman when she's on a menstrual cycle. It is seen as impure. That's Ezekiel. Let me go back to...
Is it the act, but use another one? Because that is more like the act is impure, not the menstruation itself.
Because
that's how I interpret it now. So, and it's only one.
There was no need to add the menstrual cycle there. The menstrual cycle itself is what makes a man laying with a woman impure in that cycle. But let me go to other one that
are very specific. That just said menstruation is impure.
You shall not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness while she is on a menstrual uncleanness. That's Leviticus 18:19. Leviticus 15:19. When a woman has a discharge and the discharge is in her body is blood, she shall be in a menstrual impurity for 7 days. This is Leviticus 15:19, and that's why we do it in celestial doctrine.
Okay.
And whoever touches her be unclean until the evening.
Okay. Let us pen it there for now for this part 1 series.
So
you've answered the
let me just quickly end it with Selena.
Okay, end it.
So the reason why in Sele we tell them to stay away for 7 days. In some churches they extend it by allowing them come to church, but they sit outside the church. Because don't just come into the premises, but everywhere is the premises of God. But we still try and maybe make room for that. 7 days, come back and you can enter the church. So we are following the Bible. We didn't just create it because Oshofa slept and woke up and I was like, no, I don't want menstrual cycle. We are following the Bible. So I leave it at that.
Let's wrap this up. Okay. So you know the story about the 5 daughters of Seloviadine.
I don't know. Most of what is
I don't know. I can't pronounce. My English is not even.
No, just give me what the story is like. I'll have an idea.
You know it anyway. You know it. So Mala, Noah, Ogla, Miklat. The thing is, Moses took their property and share it with other people. This that I think their dad
Their
died.
dad died and
Yeah.
Moses. Okay, I know
So
the story.
Numbers 27. If you just read the whole thing. So these women went to Moses like, we are here too now. You can't just share our
Father's property to other people.
So Moses now like, okay, relax. Moses now went to God and said, God, this. And God actually sided with the woman.
Yeah.
This is to even show that God believes in equality as well. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Moses, no, you got to share this equally and make it fair.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that onto you, even though you don't believe in the
That's why I said,
that sort of relate to the feminist movement, but equality in itself.
Exactly. So that's why I say someone like myself believe in equality, especially in the social setting. I don't necessarily subscribe with those traditions where the man dies and they don't give anything to I don't subscribe to that. And even the Bible doesn't subscribe to that. And that's why I push back on when people try to paint Christianity like we are always putting down women. Now you have things like that.
Yes.
If women were seen as second-class citizens, Moses wasn't even supposed to entertain their complaint.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? It's like my 2-year-old running to me saying he wants to drive my car. Like me and my wife are not even debating the issue. We are just going to ignore him. But for them to stand up to Moses, and if you know how Moses is respected in the Israel community or something, Moses is not the kind of person you just approach just like that. You guys,
so that is Numbers 27. Read it. It's a very good, interesting story. To now wrap it up, finally, we'll come back to this another time. There's still more things to talk about. In our own celestial doctrine, once we finish our service, this is how much we respect women. Is the elders that be the most frank women that do our closing prayer for us. Any cele you go to, any service, is always the women that sort of
do the
sort of
closing prayer. Yeah.
So, and that is why. So it's not like we are anti-women kind of
even the second member prayer, because unfortunately, the problem we have in today's society is people have been told not to disregard what their responsibilities are and look at another person's responsibility. If women paid attention to that second member prayer, don't we find it funny that it's women that are praying for victory and protection? That is the second member prayer. That's more important than, because if you are not alive, the blessing the man is praying for next, nobody is earning it. But that is handed to the woman. And that's because even the Bible doesn't play with women. We don't play with Mary. You don't play with even both Marys, Mary Magdalene and Mother of Christ. We don't play with those. We don't play with Deborah. We don't play with Anna. So it's just that they skip those part of the Bible, because there's no way to teach those part of the Bible and not teach a certain kind of submissive kind of woman, which is another topic for another day. So,
another topic for another day. So thank you very much. If you agree, if you disagree, drop your comments in the comment section.
We don't know everything. So just in case you read some part of the Bible that proves me wrong or proves me wrong, you can put it in the comment section.
So my name is Afolabi Omolaja. I still identify as a feminist, even though it's a bit shaky.
Coconut head, you know the year word.
The foundation is shaky. I still believe in what I believe in, and we're still friends. Like you said, this is just a discussion / a bit of disagreement today. Drop likes, subscribe, share with people. Thank you very much. God bless you.
You know, are we quarreling? You said your name. You said your name. I will not do my own outro. I'm Abiodun Ogunsote. I still remain a Christian. I'm not a feminist.
Christian too, a feminist Christian.
I still remain a Christian.
I'm not introducing you today. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Start with dating. You're a funny guy, but you don't look like a romantic guy. So how did you approach your wife? Did you go, hello, fine lady, hello, desire, is that sort of that approach, or is it the Lord say you should be my wife? I see it in the vision. Exactly. Is it more, how do you, as a Christian in general now, how what is the right way to approach a lady you see, either at church, at work, or anything? Because obviously, attraction is attraction.
Yeah.
This is how we are. You're attracted to one or two things. Yeah. So is it you go, oh, I'm attracted to you, I really like to know you, or is it the Lord say, or is it